Hello, my name is Kevin Pires. I am a Senior Applications Engineer at EXFO, and today I will be covering CPRI Link Validation Setup. So basically when we're talking about CPRI Link Validation, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to run a bit error rate test across the link to verify that. So we can either emulate the baseband unit or the remote radio. So basically we'll be communicating with the far end and getting a response back. The test set that I'm using today is the FTB1 Pro with the FTBx-88260. We do have a universal interface, so it will look very similar across all of our other platforms as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So right now, right in front of me, I have the Toolbox Interface with our different modules. And you'll see up here in slot number 1, I have an FTBx-730C. This is our IOLM OTDR. And then in slot number 2, I have the FTBx-88260. And so the application that we'll be running within the 88260 is going to be the NetBlazer. So the icon is orange, which means I've already launched it. Otherwise, it would look like these other icons. So I'm going to go ahead and just transition over to the NetBlazer. And here we are in the NetBlazer screen. So you see here under Test Applications, I have all these different icons. So I have a dealer model, so I have a lot of different icons here. But during today's session, we'll be focusing on CPRI BERT. If you notice here on the next screen, I also have eCPRI as well. And so today we're going to focus on CPRI. If you have the option, you see up here in the top left, we have something called iOptics. So iOptics is our transceiver validator. So it looks at the transceiver itself. It tells you what it supports. It looks at power draw, transmit, receive power levels. We can run a BERT on top of it, and we can actually also look at the connections, the electrical connections on there as well. So before I do any sort of testing, I'd like to validate my transceiver first, and that's what iOptics does. So if you have that option, I would do that first, is validate the transceiver. And so once you've done that, essentially you'll just, you'll take your transceiver, and usually I like to use the transceiver that's in the equipment itself. So if I'm emulating the baseband unit, then I'll use the transceiver from the baseband unit and then test towards the radio or the remote, and I'll do the same coming from the other direction as well, right? And so that's one of the first things I want to do. So this orange icon again means that CPRI is already launched. So I'm going to go up here to the top left, and I'm going to go to Test Configurator, and then we can start setting up the test itself. And so basically, if you look at the interface here under Test Configuration, we have our CPRI interface already selected here. So down at the bottom left, you can see where we have the port that's being used, the protocol, the rate, and then the link and power level. So this is all we really need to do a CPRI test. Before I do that, though, I want to verify that I indeed do have the right transceiver. So if I were to expand that interface box, you can see all the information here, right? You can see the different power ranges that we have for this particular transceiver. So it wants between minus 14.5 dBm and 0.5 dBm to green up. And as you can see, we're at minus 2.1 dBm. So we're within acceptable range of that transceiver. That's one of the first things I want to check. And next, I want to look at the actual transceiver itself. So if I select on the tab down here, it tells us the part number, the manufacturer, the different rates that are supported, as well as the type of traffic going across that. And here we see CPRI, so I'm happy with this. I'll minimize that. So I have my link, which is what I was looking for. Really, all I really need to do is set up a PRBS pattern. I usually just stick with default here, PRBS, to the 31st. I have my link. Essentially, I just hit start, and now we're running a test. And you'll see how quick and how easy this is. And once that's all set up, you'll see over here to the right where it says start. We'll go ahead and start the test. And then what we're looking for real quickly is we want to make sure that we have frame sync, and it's usually F or G, and we want to make sure that we're transmitting and receiving counts, because that tells us that we're talking to the radio, right? And that's it. I mean, it really is pretty quick and easy to do this testing. There are some additional things down here in the bottom right. You see where it says functions. So this is really important, especially for CRAN testing. So if you're testing from a CRAN that's, say 20 kilometers away, it's important to understand how much latency there is. And so this is where you can look at round trip delay. And again, critically important, particularly in a CRAN environment, to understand this value here and where it's at. And then once we're done, we can essentially just stop the test. And then it'll ask me if I want to generate a report. And so I'll go ahead and just hit yes to generate a PDF report. I have the option between PDF or HTML. I'm doing PDF. You want to populate all this information here as much as possible. You can streamline some of the information that's coming across the report. I usually like just to have it all. I'd rather have too much information than not enough, but you can go to custom here and then choose what contents you want to be visible, right? Maybe you don't care about them seeing all the software options that are on the unit, stuff like that. So you can deselect whatever you don't want to see on the report. In this case here, I'm just going to leave it at all, just so I have all the information. So I'll populate all of this. I want to make sure that I have display report after saving. That way I can look at the report when I'm done. And then I'll go ahead and just hit save report over here. And this will save the report for me as a PDF. And then as soon as the report is generated, it'll open up for me because I asked it to, right? I asked it to do that. And so we'll go ahead and generate that report. And then here we see the actual report itself. So this is the PDF itself. So as you can see, it has all the information in here. It's got hyperlinks. It's nice colored with graphics. So it's a really clean, nice report that we have there. And if you want to set custom configurations, so let's say that you want to, test different CPRI rates. As you can see, the setup was fairly simple. But if you wanted to test different CPRI rates and just have a configuration saved, I can go in here to save load, and then I can give it a name. So you see, I already have one in here called CPRI 9.8. So I can do the other rates if I want. And so simply all I'd have to do is once I start up my test set from the main application screen, I would just go to save load, select the test that I want to do, hit the load button, and then it will basically take me into the CPRI test. It'll load the interface, it'll set the rate, and all I have to do really is just hit start and generate a report. And basically that's it in a nutshell, right? That's CPRI Link Validation setup using an EXFO Transport and Datacom module. My name is Kevin Pires. Thank you very much.